My name is Rusenica and I have no friends. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm not like one of those people who's like, I have no friends, but they like legit have 100. And you're like, what do you mean you have no friends? Everybody loves you. I'm like for real lonely over here. You have like 5 different best friends and you never are alone. What are you saying? Because it's not like that for with me. But I might be exaggerating because I only have long distance friends. I have maybe 3 friends for real. I have 2 friends that live in Illinois and one who lives in New York. But when I say I have no friends, I mean I don't have somebody who I can call up if I'm having a bad day and say, like, hey, can I come over? And I just go over to their house. Making friends as an adult has been difficult. Nobody tells you as an adult, especially if you live in a state that you did not grow up in. Good luck. Like, it's a lot of people do not tell you that is just trial and error. And I'm in my trial and error period, although I'm not in the mood to try. I'm not in the mood for trial. And it's just been a bunch of error. Right now, I'm just kind of battling with feeling the void of friendship and community and just general like companionship with somebody who is not my husband. And I will say that as well. I am married. I have a husband who is my best friend, who I love intimately and deeply. However, we are codependent. And that it's like fine for the most part. I feel very happy that he is my only friend and I am his only friend. But it's not a good thing knowing that I rely on him for like he is my social plans. Whenever we socialize, it's just together. As much as I feel very comfortable with him and he is everything, although it is that way right now, I don't believe it should be. I'm very grateful to rely on him and to have him, but I recognize this is not forever. So I'm battling with the void of not having somebody outside of my husband who I can go to in my state, and then also the void of like feeling lonely at times, but then also contrasting that with the fact that I am an introvert. I do thrive off of having alone time. I do thrive off of the fact that like all of my energy can go into whatever I'd like to pursue. It doesn't have to go into taking into account somebody else's like accommodations into somebody's feelings. There is so much joy in the freedom that I feel in the fact that it's just me right now. Well, it's just me and my husband. It's a little bit of a conflict that I bring up to my therapist constantly. If you don't know anything about me, I grew up moving around a lot, so the feeling of not having friends and not having stability in friendship is very familiar to me because I grew up very unstable. I have lived in 3 different countries. I've lived in 3 different states, and I just am constantly feeling like no one's ever going to get to know me for real. Like, no one is ever going to actually get the chance to be my friend long term. And the oldest friend that I have is my friend from high school who lives in Illinois, who I love very much. But also, I do just want to say this is not a woe is me thing. This is not me self pitying, looking for people to tell me how great I am and about how, like, one day I'm going to make a good friend to somebody. No, some friendships, honestly, I have self sabotaged and been the problem in. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Like, there have been some things that I've just had to take as just learning lessons as it relates to friendships. There are also childhood friends that I have that I could probably reach out to and maybe kindle a relationship with, but that doesn't feel that authentic to me. Basically, I'm just figuring it out, but I'm not like a victim of, oh my god, like nobody ever wants to be my friend. People have wanted to be my friend. I haven't wanted to be their friend. I've wanted to be people's friend. They haven't wanted to be my friend. You know, just like that's just life. That's how it goes sometimes. There's just that constant gnawing feeling that I get whenever I get a little bit sad, is just the feeling of like, I want to have somebody who sees me and is dedicated to understanding me outside of my husband so bad. And I have that within my 2 friends who are not close to me, but it's hard. Like, it's so hard. Ultimately, I am dedicated to seeking out the good in life. That's why I feel as though it's so great that I am an introvert, that I have this little YouTube channel that I can talk to, But I do just have to recognize and just be real with myself about the fact that it's lonely. Like, making friends as an adult is lonely and hard sometimes. And it requires a lot of trial and error. As much as I feel like I don't have a lot of friends, I have been in periods where I've been friends with somebody for a while. Like, I just stopped being friends with somebody who I was friends with for like a year just because I just feel like we didn't align. Like, long story short, we didn't align. It's like uncomfortable because I feel like also I grew up as a people pleaser, moving around a lot, just constantly wanting to be liked by people and like finding people that liked me, but then also being kind of inauthentic just to keep a long term friendship going. But then recognizing like I'm not even happy. I don't even like that person for real. To now as an adult, I'm picky about the people who I am around. But I fell into a friendship where I literally like for a while had a couple red flags that I just kind of ignored because I was like, girl, you're literally too picky. You're gonna end up being like alone forever, which is not good. But it was like a learning experience. I'm struggling with not only this internal battle of feeling like nobody's ever gonna get to know me, but then also I'm scared of perception of people looking at me and feeling bad for me because I don't have a lot of friends around me, you know? Even though literally no one is thinking about me. Nobody is thinking about you. Me and my therapist have this conversation all the time where I'm like, I'm doing really good right now. I'm reading a lot of books. I am enjoying my life. I love going to movies alone. Oh my God, life is so good. But there's like this humongous void in my heart because I don't know people and I don't really want to put myself out there to know people because I don't even relate to like most of the people who live in the state that I live in. When I say a lot of people in my state I don't necessarily connect with, it's not because I'm on a high horse of like, I'm just so special, I can't. It's because when you have kind of a more complex identity, and as an adoptee, I like am deeply terrified of rejection and abandonment because I feel very familiar with it. It's really hard for me to connect and relate to people who don't have that shared experience with me. And so I'm seeking that out, but it feels like it's slim pickings, honestly. Not to say that I can't be friends with you if I can't relate to you, but it is to say that as an adult who's more picky and who wants to have long-term friendships with people who deeply see me and understand me, the pool just feels a little bit small, especially in the state I live in. If you knew where I lived, you would get it. I live in the world's most boring Midwestern state, and it's like hard to connect with people. Like, I'm just gonna be for real. So then I'll be like, is it normal that I want to spend like all of my time alone? Or if I do spend time with somebody, it's just my husband. Is that okay? Am I normal? Am I normal? Am I okay? Tell me if that's okay. Should I go out and do things with people? My poor therapist. And she'll be like, listen, Ruth, it's okay for you to want to spend time alone. It's okay if your only plan for the weekend is to like sit down and watch Netflix. That's okay. That's still a plan. However, it's not if you are wanting to do something else, but you're too scared to do it and you're talking yourself into feeling okay with being alone when you're not okay with it. Like, if the fear is driving you to do these things, that's what's not good. Because there are instances where sometimes I do get invited to do things and I bow out because I'm terrified of rejection and abandonment. Or I'm like scared of having a good time. And then my perception of the time that I spent with somebody is just much higher and I'm in such limerence with somebody and they don't feel that the same way. And then I get like crushed based off my own imagination. Like, abandonment issues are crazy. You know, people will be like, oh my God, isn't it so sad when you see people like sitting alone? We should invite them and like come have them be our friends. Every time I'm out sitting alone eating a meal, I never feel sorry for myself when I'm like sitting down because I'm like enjoying my time alone. I'm like enjoying the space I have to freely think, to freely read or write or whatever the heck I'm doing while I'm eating. I only feel scared of other people's perception of me, but like if you see me and I'm alone, no, that's my height. That's like my peak happiness. If you see me with other people who I am not connecting with, who I feel very uncomfortable in, that is when you should feel the most sorry for me and introverts in general. Don't be like, oh my God, they're sitting alone. They chose to do that. They chose to do that. If you see somebody in a group setting and you can tell they're uncomfortable, feel bad for them then. This is kind of a difficult thing to convey, but
when people try to give me like hope and people say, you know, change is the only thing that is inevitable in life, or people say like you're gonna make friends, don't worry, when I was your age I was blah blah blah. I find it really hard to take advice from people who just like have not experienced the same issues that I've experienced, because it's like you don't even know what it's like to sit in this. Like even my siblings who I relate to, and who have had similar experiences to me, it's so much hard. Even them, I don't even sometimes like to hear from them. My sister, who's 7 years older than me, grew up moving around not quite as much as I did, but moved around a little bit. It's so much easier for her to make friends because she's just more palatable to people. I'm saying all that to say it's hard for me to open up and to like share things that people can connect to when it's like the people that have lived the same exact lives, the people that haven't had to be as scared of rejection on a very deep level, will say things that are just like, you're gonna be fine, like life is easy when you're this age. Your life was easy when you were this age. Your experiences in life were not as scary because you haven't been rejected a million times and you're scared of like not being seen for who you are. Like there are so many people who see you for who you are because there's so many more people like you because you're palatable. Like I appreciate encouragement, but if it's encouragement that's out of like you'll be fine because I was fine, it doesn't give me hope unless you relate to me and can deeply feel me. That's why my closest friends are adopted like me, because they deeply can speak into me, versus the person that literally is like lived in one place their whole entire life, or maybe has moved a couple cities, but been in the same state. It's like, girl, you don't even know. You don't even know. God, I don't know. I just had to get that out. I just had to get that out.
There's so much good in the world, and there's so much good that can come from this period of my life that I'm just kind of working through. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how healthy is it for me to indulge in the time and space and energy that I have to give to myself. And then also like maybe we should maybe at one point maybe push ourselves to go out and try new things and meet new people. But ultimately I do recognize that like I live in such a safe environment. I'm so emotionally, physically, mentally well. There are a lot of people in this life, in this life, dramatic, who do not have the choice to be safe and to feel safe. Um, there are people who you know who are not happy, who don't even have the energy to seek out the good. I have been the person who like hasn't had the energy at all to seek out the good. I've been the depressed little teenager who's felt like my life is not like I don't feel like my life is worth anything because I don't have the choice to even do anything about it, and I'm just going to be here sad forever. And I'm so happy that now, even though I have no friends, that could be a good thing because I feel good, I'm happy, I'm seeking out joy. And if that's with people or if that's without people, I'm okay with that because whatever happens, if I make a friend in a week, if I make a friend in a year, if I never make another friend again, at least I have the stability and the joy that I've had for like a couple years now. Yeah, if you have no friends, maybe that could be a good thing. Who knows? Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or night. And I hope if you have no friends or if you have very little friends, if you're getting over a friendship, just know that like this could turn out to be good. And I hope it will.